Shebrew royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. Shebrew royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit. Shebrew royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. Shebrew royalty. She's got the fruits of the Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty features remedies for inner healing and outer beauty. Real-time conversations with sisters in the Hebrew Israelite community, focused on healing our spirit, mind, and body, which will contribute to the healing of our nation as a whole. Sip a cup of tea, wear your favorite turban, tee, or tunic, and enjoy Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty.
Shalom, sisters. Shalom. Welcome. Come on in. Who is here? Who is here? Wow, Sister Johnny is here. Sister Ahab Karad is here. Shalom, sisters. Shalom. Come on in with your beautiful royal selves. It's so good to see you all. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Shalom. Shalom. As you come in, please do me a favor. Hit that like button. Share, subscribe, hit that notification bell right now if you haven't already done so. Just a quick reminder. Come on in. We have an excellent show lined up for you today. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. I am so excited about it because this is such valuable information that we need to get out there, okay? So let's get this royal tea party started. Let us do that before we go any further. Let's just give a huge shout out, a praise to the Almighty. I am that I am, AHAYAH ASHAR AHAYAH, the God of the Hebrews and the Shebrews, in the name of His Son YASHAYA, whom the world calls Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, Rawach Qadash. So we give them such an amazing praise, a shout out, because if it were not for the Most High, we would not be here today enjoying each other's company. I have missed you all. It's been a week, but yeah, I missed you. And for some of you, it hasn't even been a week because I just saw you yesterday at Shabbat, but I still miss you. So it is so good to see you on here. It really is. I'm your hostess, Kwala Yakaka, and I humbly thank you for joining me on this broadcast today. I am so thankful to have you here. So welcome back. How was your week? Talk to me. Just, drop a comment in the comment box there. Let me know, how was your week? Let me know. I had another very productive week. My weeks have been very, very productive. Busy and productive. A lot going on behind the scenes because I am really working diligently to get this business up and going. I have been working on the social media thing. It's not up there yet. It's kind of there in the background, but it's not really ready for me to start promoting the social media thing yet. But little by little, I'm getting out of that comfort zone. So just keep me in prayer. Keep me in prayer. I say this every week. The social media thing is it's just a thing for me. And, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there because I need this. I need this. I need to get the information out there about tea time, about Shebrew royalty, and about our Shopify website and all of the other things that are going on, all of the other things that I've got going on, the travel like royalty, that I need to get the word out about that as well. And qualified training and certification. Last Monday, I conducted a CPR AED class. And so that's one of the other things that I've been doing because, of course, tea time and Shebrew royalty, I get to have all of my creative side, I get to put all my creativity in there, but I still have that other side of me that really enjoyed my medical career for as long as it lasted. And, the CPR thing, it really helps to keep me in there. And also just, the thought of teaching something that has the potential to truly save a life. And so that's really important to me. That's was my major goal for going into healthcare. And as we all know, I've talked about it on previous shows that when things just started to change for me after 26 years of being an actual medical provider, but many years prior to that being a military medic, Army medic, and then working as a nurse in the prison system. So I have a very long history starting actually in high school in healthcare. And so when I walked away from that and retired, and although I retired, I still keep my license current. So I'm still licensed, but retired. And, I keep that license current because you never know if the Most High is going to call you to do something that you need to do pertaining to that license. So it's really important that I keep my license current in case I have to jump back in and do some things. But in the meantime, it's Shebrew royalty, it's tea time, it's qualified training and certification for the CPR and wilderness first aid training and all of the other babysitting first aid classes and stuff like that I will be teaching. So I'll keep you all posted on those. But yes, I say all that to say it's been a very busy and very productive week. How about you all? Talk to me. Let me know, how was your week? Anything new, anything exciting that went down? There's my sister. Hey, sis out there. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, so I say all of that to say it's been busy, so and productive. But also in the midst of all of that, very peaceful, because I get to work on my own terms, take my break when I need to take my break, and not having anybody kind of breathing down my neck. But I'm getting the job done for sure. So before moving forward in this discussion, let me get these disclaimers out of the way. Let me start by saying tea time with Shebrew royalty is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And I get it, I understand, and that's okay. But if you happen upon this channel and you realize that you don't agree with our lifestyle or beliefs, that's okay too. Just keep searching YouTube, and I'm sure that you will find your perfect cup of tea. And you owe that to yourself. So if you keep searching, I'm sure that you will also find your perfect flavor. But what I do ask is that you not leave any insults, any derogatory statements in the comment box, because that would be distasteful. We would really appreciate that, and we thank you in advance. We thank you in advance for that. Also, as I mentioned earlier, although I am a licensed physician assistant and certified functional nutrition informed professional, and I will be touching on topics of health and wellness on my broadcast, we will not be utilizing this platform to diagnose or treat anyone's illnesses. So if you're experiencing any medical problems whatsoever, please consult your healthcare practitioner. And the views that you will hear on this channel are those of myself and my guests, and not those of any particular church or organization. You said, good to see you out there. Yes, busy week, but good. That's good to hear. Busy is good. Busy is good. Like our mother used to say, idle hands are the devil's playground. We don't give the devil our hands to play with. So we keep them busy doing good stuff, working for the Most High. How about that? So let's visit ShebrewRoyalty.com, because guess what? In all of my business last week, I promised you all that I was going to add a newsletter, but I actually ended up adding a blog. So let's go to ShebrewRoyalty.com, and let me introduce you to our new weekly health and wellness blog. Let's get that up here for you. All right, so here we are with Shebrew Royalty. And many of you have seen this website. And if you come across this video and you have not, if this is the first time that you're visiting us, this is ShebrewRoyalty.com. This is our official website. And so this is our homepage, and it talks, just gives you an introduction to the 3 areas of Shebrew Royalty. And it also has a link right here to our YouTube channel. But what I want to introduce you all to today, we're going to go over here, and where it says right here, Wellness Blog. This is where you will find our weekly wellness blog. So it says here, and I'm actually going to pull it up on my computer that's closer to me. And I'm going to read this for you. So this is the intro to our wellness blog here. So here we go. It says Shebrew Royalty's weekly wellness blog. Sacred self-care for the royal woman. Shalom and welcome, Shebrew Royalties. This is your weekly dose of holistic wellness, inspired by ancient wisdom and designed for modern living. From tea sipping and herbal healing to beauty rituals and hormone harmony, we're here to support your journey of sacred self-care every step of the way. Rooted in royal Hebrew Israelite lifestyle, Shebrew Royalty is here to help you thrive inside and out. Stay tuned, stay grounded, and as always, remain royal. So this is the blog that I created based on last week's topic, which was summer skin and hair. We talked about that. And so this is the summer skin and hair ritual guide. So you just click on here and it opens up the entire article, the blog. So I am not going to read through it tonight, but here you can just go through it yourself, and it goes over the tips that I went over last week for the summer hair and skin. So please do go back to the website, visit the blog here, and also while you're there, sign up to receive notifications, because guess what? There'll be a blog for this week's show as well. So there we are as far as our weekly wellness blog. And let's also, let me just remind you all about, let's go here. Where are we? Our partners. Let's go to our partners. So Westgate Travel Partners, like I said, this is summer. And a lot of us want to travel, want to do something for the summer, even if it's just for a weekend getaway. If it's just a weekend getaway, this is your spot right here. Come to the website, click on Travel Like Royalty, and you can book a getaway right here. You can come right here and book a getaway. Choose your destination starting at $100. I mean, where can you find that? Summer packages, 2025 summer packages, deals up to 65% off. Let's see some of the deals that are here. Let's just click on here and see what we've got going on. So you go here and you see Universal Epic Universe Vacation Package for $199 for starting at $199 for 3 nights. Come on. Westgate Lakes and Treasure Cove Water Park Vacation in Orlando, Florida. And Orlando is where I have my timeshare with Westgate. When you talk about luxury, this is the place to go if you want a luxurious vacation, because this is 150 acres of just, oh my gosh, fun stuff. You actually don't even have to leave the resort. There's restaurants there. There's water park, there, everything, shopping, everything that you need is right there at Westgate Lakes and Resorts. So I am telling you, if you're looking to get away, starting at $99 for 3 nights, come on. Where else can you get this? And then there's the Las Vegas summer deals, Cocoa Beach summer deals, Myrtle Beach summer deals, $99 for 3 nights. Come on. Branson summer deals, Gatlinburg summer deals. And when I say Westgate is, their resorts are just absolutely luxurious. So if you really want to spoil yourself for a weekend, or maybe even during the week, this is where you come. Williamsburg. Yeah, those are the summer deals right now. Gatlinburg starting at $149 for 2 nights here. And also at the Westlake Resort and Spa, like it says, spa. So there you can have spa treatments. You can just really go there and just, like I said, stay in a 2 or 3 bedroom luxurious accommodation and have spa treatments, go to the lake. It's just absolutely beautiful. So I say all that to say again, I am actually hoping that you are able to see. Are you able to see this? I'm hoping that you are, you know what, I'm talking about the resorts, and it didn't open up. It did not open up. Oh my goodness. So this means I just have to go back. Let me Let me remove this, stop sharing this. And actually, because what happened is I clicked on the link and I thought that it opened up the other website, but it did not. So let me, good grief. I am so sorry, sisters. Let me find that link. Here we go. Westgate Lake and Resort. So let me check in with you all. And there it is. There is the website. Good grief. So I have to do that whole presentation all over again. Forgive me for being redundant, but you all have to see exactly what I was seeing. I thought you all could see what I was seeing, but I completely forgot that other page did not open up for you all. So here we go. These are, when you go to Westgate Travel Partners, you click on that link, it's going to open up this website right here where you can actually come on here and book your summer vacation. But in the meantime, just look at some of the summer deals and packages that they have already designed for you. So there's the Orlando summer deals, Universal Epic Universe Vacation Package starting at $199 for 3 nights. Then we have the Westgate Lakes and Treasure Cove Water Park Vacation starting at $99. This is what I was talking about when I mentioned going to Westgate Lakes in Orlando. This is where, like I mentioned, I have my timeshare. And it is luxurious. It is luxurious. And here you can, it's 150 acres. You have water parks, you have restaurants, you have everything on site. So you don't even need to go to leave the resort to have a wonderful time. But it's right next door to Walt Disney World if you want to do that. But like I said, just on the resort itself, there's enough right there to keep you busy for 3 days. It's real easy. There's spa treatments you can have there, restaurants, shopping, everything on site. And then also enjoy the sunshine with an Orlando getaway. So once again, we're still there in Orlando. And then we have our Las Vegas summer deals starting at $99 for 3 nights, Cocoa Beach. Summer deals from $149 for 2 nights. And then there's the Myrtle Beach summer deals. So whatever you're looking for, it's right here. Branson summer deals, Gatlinburg summer deals, 4 days and 3 nights. And Anakesta tickets. I'm not sure what Anakesta is, but that's in Gatlinburg for $99 for 3 nights. Gatlinburg Getaway, $100 for Dollywood tickets, only $149. And then there's Williamsburg summer deals. So there's a lot here on this website. So like I said, it's summer. Many of us want to get away for the summer. This is a very affordable way to have a luxurious vacation. So there we are. There we are. All right. So we have explored Shebrew royalty, and we have also explored Westgate Travel Partners and our blog. You said, Sister Johnny says, I have it open on my laptop. Awesome, sis. The water. I was just going in, wasn't I? And not even realizing that you all could not see what I was seeing. But I am so glad I caught that. And like I said, it just gave me the opportunity to go back and reiterate everything that I said earlier so that it will stick. You know, let's do this. Let's have a fun summer this year. Let's get out and, you know, do something fun but affordable, and travel like royalty, because guess what? We are. We are royalty. So that's how we have to travel. So one more, let me share my screen with you again. And this time I am sharing our Shopify store. And since last week, we've had some addition to our store as well. So here's our Shopify store, ShebrewRoyalty.myshopify.com. ShebrewRoyalty.myshopify.com. And I am going to copy this and paste it in the comment box right here for you. So when you want to go shopping, for some Shebrew royalty stuff. So it starts off on page 1 with the Shebrew lioness, and these are backpacks. Aren't those cute? And bags. And then we have the Shebrew royalty, the Shebrew lioness t-shirt and dress. And of course the slides. But, we went over the website last week, but like I said, I have some addition. So now we have our collections, right? Our collections, we have the Shebrew royalty collections, and you can just see this is with the Shebrew royalty logo. That's the brand right there. And we have the slides. We also over here have, I'm trying to open this. There we go. We have our high top, and we have our athletic shoes over here with the Shebrew royalty logo on there. Aren't we fancy? And then we have our chosen collection. 1 Peter 2:9, where we talk about being a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, and a peculiar people. This is who we are. So we got to show that off. We got to let people know that we know who we are. We know exactly who we are. So there we go. This is the collection, the chosen collection. There you go. And then we have our temple treasures. My temple is a treasure. And these are sweatshirts, the dress, and t-shirts so far on this collection. And here's our tea time collection of our mugs. We have the chosen mug in purple. We have the chosen mug in gold. We have the Shebrew royalty tea time with Shebrew royalty mug. We have the lioness. And we also have the Shebrew royalty mug. And here's the Shebrew lioness that's on the first page. And then now we also have our natural branches. And the goal is eventually on here to have, the natural branches, which we know are the 12 tribes, to have each tribe represented here with the natural branches, which, comes from Romans 11. So we have the Judah here. We have Gad. This is our Gad. It's our Gad. Yeah. And our Judah, let's see, let's get back to Judah. There's Judah. Genesis 49:9. And here we go, Romans 11, natural branches. All right. So, and now we have our Hebrew royalty line. And so far we have the mugs. We have a couple of mugs here. There's some fierceness going on. There's some fierceness going on there. Don't mess with this lion. Don't mess with the lion. Let's move on to the other lion here. Our other Judah. Our Judah mug. Look at that. Fierceness. What do you all think, sisters? Give me some feedback. And we have now the backpacks in different colors as well. We have the blue, the royal blue. And instead of the Shebrew royalty on the sides, we have the Hebrew royalty. And here we have the purple and gold and purple and the brown and gold. The brown and gold. So yeah, that's and we're still growing. Still growing. More products coming. More products coming. So now you see what I mean when I said that I have been busy. I have. What did you all think about that? Give me some feedback about the product so far, sis. Give me some feedback. What Sierra says, these are so bomb, sis. The water, sis. The water. I am having so much fun. So good to see you, my beautiful sister. I am having so much fun creating these designs, and I can't wait for you all to see what I've got up my sleeve next. All praises to the Most High. I've got some other things up my sleeves, and so just, staying busy, staying productive. Yeah, so that's the tour of the website so far. So sisters, talk to me. Tell me, what is your cup of tea tonight? What is your cup of tea? Aqua Sierra says the website is like a one-stop. That's the goal, sis. Get everything you need right there. That is it. You go to Shebrew Royalty, right? Because if you go to Shebrew Royalty and you're buying all of your skincare stuff, which I didn't go over tonight, but as a matter of fact, today I used that luxurious lavender bath soap. I didn't use it as a soak. I actually used it as almost like a rub, a muscle rub, because we know it has the Epsom salt in there. It has the magnesium flakes. It has the lavender. It has so much good stuff in there. And I was having some really, really intense pain in my upper back. And I just got in the shower and rubbed that in really good. And, just these products are so amazing. When I say they are so amazing, they smell delightful, and they're just very therapeutic and all natural, all organic. Sister Johnny, you just ordered the slides. All praises. Which one of the slides, sis? Which one of the slides did you order? Was it the is it the lioness or the Shebrew royalty? Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for you to get your slides. Wow. Let's see here. Sister Adana, Shalom, sis. You said oh my goodness. Let me see. Let me look on here. I can't see what your T is, sis. For whatever reason, it's blurry here. AHAYAH T ESSIAC. I'm not familiar with that T. I'm not familiar with that T. Sister Zion says, I'm not only going to be looking royal with these beautiful selections of fashion, I'm going to smell amazing too. Wow. Yes. We're going to smell like royalty. We're going to look like royalty. We're going to walk like royalty. We're just going to be royal, which we are. We're just going to represent royalty. That's it. The Black Lioness. All right. The water, sis. The water for your order. Oh, my goodness. All praises to the Most High. The water. So, yes, my cup of tea tonight, my choice is arnica tea. So, like I mentioned earlier, Sister Zahn says, loving it, all praises. I've been experiencing a flare-up, and it's because I've been on the computer so much lately. And whenever I'm on the computer for long periods of time, the neck, the back, everything just it gets really intense. So just having the flare up, like I mentioned earlier, I use the luxurious lavender. It's a bath soak, and it really helps to relax the muscles and everything. Today I just rubbed it in really good and rinsed it off. But yes, I am going to get in that tub and soak in that luxurious lavender, because it has all of those good muscle relaxing ingredients in there. And like I mentioned earlier, all organic stuff and natural stuff. And I don't even take over-the-counter Tylenol or ibuprofens, anything like that. So I rely on natural products. And so on a daily basis, there are just certain things that I take on a daily basis, such as boswellia, white willow bark, to help to keep the inflammation down. But at times, I will get flare-ups. And I mentioned earlier, I see my chiropractor every couple of weeks, upper cervical. But today I needed a little extra, just because like I said, I've been experiencing a flare-up with the headaches and the neck and back pain for the last couple of days. So my tea of choice tonight is arnica tea. And I want you all to watch this video. This is video by 10 benefits, how herbal arnica tea can improve your health. And so now you'll get to see the reason why I am having arnica tea tonight to help with my pain and inflammation. Let's see, I'm missing some. Sister Jean says, Shalom, sister, just have some water. Okay, that's excellent. Excellent. There's a lot of worse things that you could drink other than water. Water is the best thing, actually. Was in the garden and was very dehydrated. Yeah, I want to order the lavender soap. Okay, we'll talk about that, sis. It's the soak, S-O-A-K. It's the soap that you put in the tub. So yes, it's called Luxurious Lavender, and it's on the website under the bath soaks. And my sister Althea said my t-shirt is soft and beautiful in color, and my mug is so gorgeous. I love them all. Yay! What an amazing, awesome report. Be sure to send me that review. Send me that review. And you're having water as well. Yes, send me that review so that I can get it up on the website. And as a matter of fact, before I go any further, I'm going to backtrack a little bit before I go to the tea video. I have to backtrack and go back to Shebrew royalty. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to Shebrew royalty, and I have a review that I did not go over. So shame on me. Shame, shame, shame. Give me just a minute. I am going to bring up that review. Give me a minute. Because these reviews are so important to me. They're really important because, you know, whether it's a 1 star, a no star, a 5 star, because it will let me know where I'm doing well. Because I personally think that the products are excellent products, but what I think is only part of the equation. What you all think out there is even more important because you're the customer, right? So I need to make sure that the products that I'm putting out there, that as I am putting them out, and that you are receiving them in the same manner that I am putting them out there, or that I believe I'm putting them out there. So if you have any comments about ways that I can improve, please don't be shy. Let me know, because at the end of the day, my goal is to please you, to make you, because you're my customers. You have to be happy. If you're not happy, what is this all about? All right, so let's get this review up here for you. Let's see. Yes. And the water, Aquat Sierra. So here's a review by Sierra May. She says, Sacred Femininity, 5 stars. She said, the Sacred Femininity bath soak is my absolute favorite. The way it makes my skin smell so good, clean, and soft. I can't wait to purchase more. The water says, thank you for that review. Another 5 star, another 5 stars. So I truly appreciate you all. And yes, even if it was a 1 star, I'd put it up here and let you all know, and let you know what I plan to do to fix that. But so far, we have been getting 5 stars. So all praises to the Most High. It's going. I'm just really excited about the products. I'm really excited because I really do love them. So yes, let me get this video up here on the 10 benefits, how herbal arnica tea can improve your health. Let's get that up here.
Nature has always given us a wealth of therapeutic plants and herbs that have many positive health effects. One of these is Herbacil arnica tea, which is made from the arnica moss. In this video, we explore the remarkable health advantages that Herbacil arnica tea offers. Before you watch the video, please like and subscribe for more health video. Reduces inflammation. Arnica has long been used to treat bodily inflammation. Herbal arnica tea has anti-inflammatory characteristics that can help ease the pain brought on by ailments like arthritis, joint pain, and sore muscles. Eases pain. Herbacil arnica tea is due to its analgesic characteristics. while also minimizing the need for over-the-counter medicines.
Shalom, sisters. Are you all able to see me? Are you able to see me? Suddenly, my video went out. I don't know if you're able to hear me, if you're able to see me. Give me just a second.
This tea can help the body fight off common infections and illnesses by boosting the immune system when consumed regularly. Improve circulation. Herbicil arnica tea may help the blood circulate more effectively. By encouraging healthy blood flow, it may help lower the risk of cardiovascular issues like high blood pressure and cholesterol levels. Supports detoxification. Herbicil arnica tea, a natural diuretic, aids in promoting kidney function and the body's natural detoxification process. It might facilitate the process of detoxification, fostering a healthier internal system. Release anxiety and stress. Herbicil arnica tea's calming effects can aid in mind clearing and the relief of anxiety and stress symptoms. This tea can make drinking it a soothing and calming experience. Arnica is frequently included in hair care products because of its possible advantages for the hair and scalp. Herbicil arnica tea use may result in thicker, healthier hair that is less prone to breakage and promotes scalp health. Herbicil arnica tea stands out as a natural elixir that provides a wide range of health advantages. Nature continues to astound us with its healing abilities. This herbal tea can be a beneficial addition to your daily routine because it helps with digestion and circulation while also lowering inflammation and pain. Unlock the potential for a happier and more fulfilling life by embracing the power of Herbicil arnica tea.
So what did you all think about all of those excellent benefits of the arnica tea? I drink the arnica tea specifically for the anti-inflammatory and pain relieving properties. But it's good to know that it has all of those other benefits. I mean, even for hair health. Isn't that something? Wow. I learned something about arnica because about this tea by watching this video, because prior to that, I didn't know. I just drank it because I knew arnica was good for inflammation and pain. So, like I said, it's great to know that it has all of the anti-anxiety for hair, cardiovascular health. Who would have thought? So, and I apologize. I don't know what happened. The video went out, and I don't know, but we're back. And at least this year, this week, we're not purple. I'm not purple this week. Last week I just turned purple. I just don't even understand. I don't understand it, but we're dealing with these electronic devices, so we have to expect the unexpected every single time. Sister Adana said, poetic, etc. Welcome, Shalom family, poetic, etc. Who am I speaking with poetic, etc.? Shalom says, and Sister Adana says, wow, didn't know it exists. I was given arnica for pain, but it was in pill form. Yes, there's the melt, the ones that melt on your tongue. And I used to use those as well, but I like the tea. It has a mild flavor. It really is smooth. So it's very palatable. So I like the tea, but the pills are also a great option. All right, so let us move along. Sisters, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't already done so. We're about to get started. And like I mentioned before, we're still not promoting on social media yet. So please do me a favor and share these videos, share the websites that I shared with you earlier on your social media platforms. Do me that favor, the water in advance. So last week's show, sisters, what did you think about last week's shows? Now, nourishing the hair and skin from within. What did you learn? What did you think about that with all of the nutritional foods, the summer fruits that helps to heal our skin and hair and help them to grow healthy and strong. And yeah, so what did you think about that show? And like I mentioned, don't forget to go back and look at the blog from last week. So that being said, without further ado, it's showtime, and not at the Apollo, but right here on Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty. For those of you that are just joining us, welcome to Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty, where we blend ancient wisdom with modern wellness for women walking the path of sacred self-care. I'm your host, AHAYAH. I'm a retired physician assistant, but still licensed in California, a functional nutrition-informed professional, and the creator behind Shebrew Royalty, your holistic one-stop shop for inner vitality and outer radiance. So in today's episode, we're peeling back the truth behind something we've all seen in our grocery carts. Not mine, but other people's grocery carts. Not in mine. Seedless fruits and vegetables. How many of you have seen those? How many of you go in the grocery store and all you see is seedless? I mean, they advertise the seedlessness of these fruits and vegetables and make it sound so appealing. They look convenient and sweet, but are they truly alive? That's a question to ask. Are they truly alive? What are we really putting into our sacred temples when we choose food that can't even reproduce itself? So tonight we will explore the spiritual and nutritional importance of seeds. Sister G says, I'm so sick and tired of seeing seedless fruits. So am I, sis. So am I. And that's that prompted this show tonight. We're going to talk about how seedless produce is made, the hidden health risks, and how to reclaim your wellness with life-giving seeded foods, fruits, and vegetables. So this is more than a food conversation. It's about returning to divine design and nourishing our bodies in alignment with the Most High. So grab your favorite cup of Shebrew's teas, settle into your sacred space, and let's talk truth. We're going to talk truth tonight, because when I was doing my research on these seedless fruits and vegetables, I had to weed through so many articles, videos about the amazing benefits of these seedless fruits and vegetables. And I'm like, are you serious? Are you really serious? I mean, there are so many articles out there that talk about all of the benefits. So finding people who are willing to tell truth about these frankenfoods that are out there is, they're few and far between. But I managed to find some articles and one video in particular that I really want you all to watch. So our theme for this month is summer wellness. We have been focusing so far on, we've talked about summer hydration and summer superfoods. So in both episodes, we talked about the importance of summer fruits and vegetables that are an essential part of keeping us well hydrated and healthy, especially during these summer months. But what if these fruits and vegetables are being manipulated to, instead of improving our health, actually doing the adverse? We're going to get to the root of this issue tonight. Sister Adana says, oh my gosh, it's so hard to not purchase them because you can't find the ones with seeds. After tonight, sis, I don't think it's going to be so hard for you not to purchase them. I went for so long without buying grapes because I absolutely refused to buy seedless grapes. I went for so long, and I love grapes. And what was it, maybe a month ago? I went to Sprouts, and they had the huge globe grapes seeded. And when I say these grapes had seeds, there were so many seeds in these grapes. I was so excited. I was not so excited in a long time to see all these seeds and to spit out seeds as I'm eating this fruit. But I'm telling you, so I actually started saving some of these seeds. Start saving these seeds, sis. Start saving your seeds. When you buy the seeded fruits and vegetables, start saving the seeds, and always buy organic, right? If you can. But I'm telling you, I was so excited to see those grapes. So let's begin with this truth. We all know that the Most High created everything with seed. So in the Bible, it talks about where the Most High said that the earth should bring forth grass, herb yielding seed, and fruit trees yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself. We know that. And I'm using this as a reference point, this scripture, just as a reference point, not to preach, but it's important for reference sake for us to know the actual origin of seeds, because they make it appear as though seeds are optional. Like, oh my gosh, they're just so inconvenient when you have to deal with seeds. It's such an inconvenience. And so that's what they sell us, is the convenience of the seedless fruits and vegetables. But when you go back to the origin, we realize that that's not really, it's not optional. Everything needs seeds in order to reproduce. And that was the way that the Most High created the everything to reproduce. Animals, man, fruits, vegetables, everything requires a seed. So seed represent life, regeneration, and wholeness. So when a fruit or vegetable bears seed, it carries within it the blueprint of the next generation. And seedless foods, they actually stop the cycle. Sister Adana says the slaves used to hide the seeds in their hair when they had to relocate. See how even they knew how important it was. Look at that. I didn't know that. The water for that tip. Sister Zion says, it was a great show, very detailed and informative. The water, sis, the water. I appreciate that. That's good to hear. So yes, most seedless fruits are a result of hybridization. Let me get that out right. Hybridization or genetic manipulation. And these fruits, these seedless fruits, are actually sterile. They have no seeds and they cannot reproduce. And while that might be convenient for eating, what are we sacrificing for that convenience? What are we sacrificing? Just because, it's inconvenient to have to spit out some seeds. So when we talk about fruits, we can't talk about fruits without, interjecting the fruits of the Spirit, right? The fruits of the Spirit are certainly not seedless. They bear much fruit, right? So I just had to put that out there. So how are seedless fruits made? You may be wondering, how are they made? So seedless varieties like the seedless watermelons, which we see, you go into every grocery store and there's seedless watermelons everywhere, but only certain stores or grocery stores carry the seeded watermelons. They're not in every grocery store. And I just see people just buying these seedless watermelons as though they're really a delicacy or something. So there's the seedless watermelons, the grapes, as we well know, or even bananas. And they're created through hybridization, which is crossing two plants with different numbers of chromosomes to create sterile offspring. Imagine that. And then number two, hormone treatments. Did you know that hormone treatments are used to create seedless fruits? Using plant hormones like gibberellins to trick the plant into producing fruit without fertilization. And then, of course, there's the genetic modification, or GMO, which is far removed from the natural order. So these fruits, they look vibrant, but their lack of reproductive power often mirrors a deeper nutritional and energetic lack. So they're not very nutritional. and because of that, they're depleting our energy in simple terms. So let's talk about what we're really consuming. Seedless fruits may look and taste sweet. They look and taste sweet. I remember going into, this was years ago, and I went to, it was Costco, and I bought some grapes. And I was on my way to work. I forgot the grapes in my car, and it was a hot summer day, and I went into work, and I just didn't go back out to get these grapes. And they spent all day out in that sweltering heat in a closed car. And when I went out to my car, when I got off work, these grapes were still huge and plump, and not one wrinkle. And like I said, this was years ago, and I popped one in my mouth, and it was just sweet and juicy. And they were seedless. So I know, that they do manipulate a lot of these fruits to make them so sweet and plump and flawless. They look flawless, right? But although they look and taste sweet, they often contain less fiber and less nutrient density. The natural life force energy that comes from the seed, the potential to grow, to multiply, to live, is no longer present. So from a spiritual perspective, we're consuming something that's actually barren, right? And we've heard about, women in biblical times, that were barren, could not bear children, and even to today, we know of that. And so imagine eating fruits that are barren, that these fruits have no seed, no ability to reproduce. So these are barren fruits that if you're eating seedless varieties, that you're consuming. And so when we consistently put foods in our bodies that are void of life, what does that do to our vitality? What does that do to our own womb or our cellular energy? So remember, life begets life. Seedless food is a form of death dressed up in sweetness. Sister Adana says, Costco is notorious for selling seedless fruit. Yes, Han says. And I remember back then that was it for me with those grapes, because when I saw how those grapes still maintained all of that plumpness, and I thought, this can't be a real grape. I mean, this grape did not have one wrinkle on it after spending an entire day in a hot, sweltering car. And I thought after that, no, this can't be real. At HEB, yes. Sister Zana says you can find the seeded watermelons at Sprouts too. Yes, at Sprouts and HEB. Those are the only two places that I've been able to find, at least in this area, the seeded watermelons, Kansas. And that's where I found, Sprouts was where I found the huge globe grapes with the seeds. Yes, absolutely. So shop Sprouts, shop certain things in HEB, the majority of the food in HEB for me is, it's a hit and miss there. But they do have the seeded watermelon for sure. So let's go deeper. Some studies have shown that high consumption of certain seedless fruits may lead to blood sugar imbalances due to the high sugar content and low fiber that are in these fruits. Sister Adana says, sis, the way you just explained that, just wow, no more seedless for me. Con, sis, I told you after this, you're not going to want a seedless anything. Zero. I mean, why? What's the purpose? It lacks, and like I said, if you do your research, you will find a lot of articles out there that will say, oh, well, yes, the nutritional value is not as high as the seeded varieties, but it's only by a small margin or something like that, where it's like, it's no big deal. But we know with everything else that we're dealing with the soil being depleted of the nutrients and, having to fight against the GMO stuff, there's just so many things that we have to take into consideration when we are consuming our food, that every ounce of nutritional value that we can get out of our food is important. So if you're telling me, oh, it's just a small amount of nutritional value that you're not going to get out of the seedless varieties, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to risk that just because it's sweeter? And like it says here, blood sugar imbalances because of the high sugar content and low fiber. So many times we make our food choices, the decisions, based on what our taste buds are saying. And for whatever reason, our taste buds a lot of times really love sweet. And it doesn't mean that sweet is better. Our blood sugars are out of control. Cancer is out of control. There's just so many so many reasons not to consume a lot of sugar. So if that's one of the reasons why we're eating these fruits is because, oh, they're just so sweet, then that's not a good reason. That's actually a reason not to eat them. So then there's the blood sugar imbalances. Then there's also weakened digestive health because of the missing components that aids in digestion. Shalom, Sister Ada. She says you are so right. Khan. And then there's the estrogen mimicking effects. Imagine that. These seedless fruits have estrogen mimicking effects. In some seedless fruits treated with growth hormones. Did you know that some of these seedless fruits are treated with growth hormones, which can disrupt hormonal balance in women? So, and spiritually, we must ask, who profits from making sterile fruits? Who profits from that? Why would you want to make a sterile fruit in the first place when all you have to do is continue to plant the seeds and continue to grow seeded products? If we can't grow our own food from what we eat, we become dependent. Doesn't that make sense? So if we have no control over growing our own food because the food now has no seeds, we become dependent on the system to provide us with that food, because they're the ones who are creating it. It's not by a natural process. So now they have total control over what we eat. So that's not wellness, that's absolute control. So we also have to look at the big picture. Why would they want to create seedless food? The fruits and vegetables, knowing that these are essential parts of our diet. Fruits and vegetables are essential in our diet. So now, if you have the government that now creates your food for you and you cannot grow your own food, you become dependent on them. So you're going to eat whatever it is that they give you, right? So look at the big picture. It's not about the convenience of not having to spit out some seeds. It's about the inconvenience of not being able to grow and have control over your own food and what you eat. So let's check out this video. There's a video by Dr. Bobby Price. And I think last week we watched one of his videos as well. And this video is The Dangers of Seedless Fruits by Dr. Bobby Price. And this is going to be eye-opening for us as well.
Two things, right? When we talk about fruit, one, seeded fruit.
Yeah.
Because you and I were talking about seeded grapes.
Yeah.
And if you can find the seeded grapes, you eat the seeded grapes.
Right.
But not the cotton candy grapes.
No,
Because I've seen people doing the reels, baby, and they say, these my favorite grapes. I got the cotton candy grapes. And I'm like, oh, Lord.
Man, I'm going to tell you, like, it's difficult for me to go in the grocery store because it's like I started seeing stuff that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up, my dad is from Miami. So in the summers, you know, like, I remember, like, going to watermelon farms and throwing watermelons during the summer. And I could tell you, I never saw a watermelon without a seed.
Yeah.
So, like, the first time I saw a watermelon without a seed, I was like, whoa.
What is this?
What's wrong with this one? I went back to the store, took that one back. I was like, yo, something's wrong with the watermelon. It didn't have no seeds in it. I was like, oh, no, it's seedless. I was like, how? And they couldn't explain to me how. And so, like, people have to understand we come from a seed. Like, every human came from a seed. That's semen. Humans don't exist without a seed.
Yeah.
Okay? Life comes from a seed. Okay? You can't have food. Like they say in Genesis 1:29, I have given you every fruit-bearing seed. Okay? That was our food in the garden. That's all we needed.
Yeah.
Okay? So to go from a divine space of not only I give you this seed, I give you this seed one time and it's going to produce for you for a lifetime and generations. Your grandchildren will have this mango, okay? And this tree that I have in the backyard. And if an animal comes along and takes one of those mangoes and takes it 2 doors down and it drops into the ground, I will create another tree for you. That's divinity working for us.
Yeah.
So we have to understand what a seed is. That's God giving us abundance. That's God giving, like when you have your children from a seed, now your children can have children. And now their children can have children. It's the same process with food. It's no different. So that's the source and the sign of life that people just don't understand. But this is also part of the abomination and the disconnection that they've given us very slowly over time. So first the seeds were there, but they were white seeds in a watermelon. And you saw it and you said, well, I mean, it's still seeds. And then it showed up with no seeds and you were like, well, it's convenient. Okay. That's how they work us with everything.
Yeah.
But that's why I always say, like, for me, like, it's very difficult for me to go to the grocery store because I'm looking around and I'm seeing the cotton candy grapes and, you know,
You said pink
pineapple.
Pink pineapples.
I'm like, this is wild work.
I saw it online and said, how did they get the pineapple pink?
It's genetically modified.
Yeah. What did they put in it?
100% genetically modified.
Yeah.
So when you take something, I'll give you a for instance, tomato. The reason why tomatoes can grow in the winter now, because again, everything isn't just like on my farm, everything is not only seeded, it's seasonal.
It's seasonal.
We have seasons in life. Different things grow during different seasons because during the winter season, you're supposed to have things that are growing that are good for the immune system.
Mm-hmm.
During the summer season, you have things that are growing that are fruitful and in water. So that's how you have a lot of melons that go in the summer because now it's hydrating you because it's hot. Everything makes sense, okay? But when you think about how they've manipulated something like a tomato, all right, the reason why it can grow in the winter now instead of being something that grows in the summer is because now they've genetically modified it. And they splice a tomato with an Arctic flounder, which is a fish that lives in the Arctic. So now now that tomato can survive during the winter because it has the genes of an Arctic flounder fish that can survive in frigid temperatures in the water.
This is the first time I'm ever hearing this.
Yeah, but this is the abomination that's happening with the food. This is why I'm telling you, this is the matrix. Nothing is real anymore. The food isn't real anymore. This conversation is real, but most of our conversations aren't real anymore. The news isn't real anymore. Nothing is real. People helping people isn't real anymore. Nothing's real anymore. The water's tainted. The air's polluted. They're trying to use technology to block out the sun.
Yeah.
The drugs don't heal anything. Nothing is real. Nothing is what it's supposed to be. So it's up to us to get conscious and wake up and stop seeing with these two eyes because these two eyes get tricked and start looking with this eye. Start looking with our divine eye.
Well, then that's getting calcified.
So I'm going to stop that here because he's going to go into some other topics that are off of our topic tonight. But remember this video because I am going to be coming back to this video because the things that he goes into, the other stuff that he goes into it really triggered in my mind. I need to have a show on that topic right there and on that topic right there. So I don't want to bring them out yet, but it's very, very thought-provoking and it just important information that we need to know. Just as, I mean, who would think to splice a tomato and a fish so that the tomato can now be grown in the wintertime? Who? Where did that come from? We know where that came from because there's nothing new under the sun, right? We've heard of these things happening before in ancient times, right? Why not now? The same things that were being done back then are the same things that are being done right now. That's why now we're supposed to be wiser. We're supposed to be wiser because we have the books. We're being taught the things that we need to look out for, so that the things that happened in ancient time are now we're more aware of, we're more educated on, and so that we don't fall for those things that unfortunately our forefathers and foremothers had to deal with back then. And I know it's difficult. It's difficult because every time you turn around, there's something else that we can't eat. There's something else that's being thrown at us that, oh boy, now I guess I got to get rid of that, or I can't do this. Or so our choices are becoming less and less, smaller and smaller. But what are the options? Our health is wealth. And if we don't have health, then what do we have? Sister Adana says, that's why we are so sick, no energy, no joy, crazy. I am so serious. It says anything that mimics estrogen can cause cancer. Yes, there are certain tumors out there also that are estrogen dependent, such as fibroids, uterine fibroids. And we wonder why so many of us, so many Black women, quote unquote, have uterine fibroids. Number one, the hormones that are being pumped into into the meats, the chicken. Fibroids are estrogen dependent. So the more estrogen you give them, the more of these hormones that you're receiving artificially through your diet causes these tumors to grow. And what's the solution? Oh, let's hysterectomy. let's take your uterus out, right? And I dealt with fibroids many years ago. And when I learned, oh my gosh, I had huge fibroids, and the options at that time, get on medications to shrink the fibroids. And of course, if that doesn't work, then now we need to consider removing the fibroids. And depending on how big they are, you may not be able to remove the fibroids. You may have to have a hysterectomy. I did my research. Back then, I was consuming a lot of soy products. And that was during the time when I was eating chicken as well. And back then, I was eating chicken, not organic chicken. More than likely, this chicken that was being pumped up with hormones. I was already, I had already stopped eating red meat, but I was still eating chicken. And so I cut out all soy products. I stopped eating chicken. I just went drastic, and fibroids shrunk. Never got on a medication, never had a fibroid removed, and certainly did not have a hysterectomy. So I say that to say we have to be more conscious about what we're putting in our bodies and learn the adverse effects. And if they do happen to show up, these conditions, whatever they may be, find what is it that is in my diet. So many times it's our diet that is responsible for so many sicknesses that we have, right? So that being said, Sister Adana said I had stopped eating tomatoes because they caused me to ache. You did mention that. Now I see why. Yeah, and lately I have been going to the grocery store prior to watching this video, going to the grocery store, and I would just look at tomatoes and roll my eyes and keep going. For whatever reason, I just was not feeling like tomatoes. I was like, I'm just not feeling that right now. And it's been a few months, maybe 3 months or so since I've purchased tomatoes. And I guess I I don't know. But since hearing this, I'm like, I don't want a tomato. And although I do buy, when I do buy tomatoes or anything else, all of my fruits and vegetables, I always buy organic. But once again, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because there are seedless things out there that they claim are organic as well. So, yeah. But I think I'm good when it comes to a tomato. I'm good. I don't want a fruit that's spliced with a fish. That just doesn't sound appealing to me. I'm not gonna do it. So I have some articles that I want us to go into. So here's this article by Rui Alves, The Truth About Seedless Fruits and Why They Are an Evil in Disguise. What you need to know before buying seedless fruits. And like I said, this was one of the honest articles that I found out there in regards to seedless fruits. So I am going to, let me see. You know what? I may just, let's see. Do I want to put this on the screen? Or just, I'm going to drop the link in the box for you all, but I think I'm also going to pull it up on the screen as well. Give me just a second. I'm going to put it right here. So this is the truth about seedless fruits and why they are an evil in disguise. I'm going to bring it up here. And this is by Rui Alves, What You Need to Know Before Buying Seedless Fruits. It says here, seedless fruits have revolutionized the world of supermarket shelves. They're great for lunch boxes, and for many people, they're also an essential part of their diet. Around the world, seedless fruits are increasingly popular among consumers due to their convenience. There we go again with convenience. We've just become so lazy that even spitting out some seeds is just too much work. It's too much work to spit out some seeds. Humanity has been striving for standardization for decades, which extends to consumer goods such as fruits and vegetables, within the framework of a profit-oriented marketing logic dictated by corporations that dominate the market. These companies want us to believe that the consumer wants standardization, but their campaigns make us not want to buy something that looks a little different from the other goods on the shelf. Farmers have historically grown many seedless fruits because they were easier to sell and ship. Still, we must consider their impact on health, biodiversity, and our food system when deciding whether they are beneficial. So what is the truth about seedless fruits? While this commodity makes fruits more commercially valuable, it also poses a major threat: the genetic variability of many plants that require seeds as a critical element of their evolution. Homogenized fruits entirely depend on human action in the plant's reproductive process, exposing it to many pathogens. The pros and cons of seedless fruits. There are many reasons why people want to eat more seedless fruits. They may wish to avoid seeds for dietary reasons or because they do not like the texture of some seeds. The grower may benefit from the fact that in watermelons, for example, the absence of seeds, which are necessary for the production of the plant hormone ethylene, prolongs the life of the fruit because that specific hormone is known to promote ripening. Consumers who enjoy eating fresh fruit often want to buy seedless or peeled fruit because it is easier to eat. Hence, when we talk about the pros of seedless, it all comes down to a commodity. On the other hand, there are a few downsides to these types of goods. Thus, there are many more cons than pros when discussing seedless fruits. Number one, seedless means pricey. Any process that relies on human intervention has financial drawbacks. For one thing, these fruits tend to be more expensive than their seeded counterparts. Thus, a seedless watermelon will cost you more. A seedless watermelon will cost you more than the regular variety. Number two, they have to be propagated by cloning. One might think that seedless fruits grow naturally, but that would be wrong. These fruits, also called parthenocarpic or parthenogenetic, cannot regenerate by producing seeds. This means that they must be propagated by cloning. Unfortunately, cloning is highly inefficient and leads to a loss of genetic diversity. Cloning is asexual reproduction, which means that no fertilization of an egg is necessary to reproduce another organism. This process is not natural because it's forced and not a part of the life cycle of these plants. It's like cloning people, right? People clones do not need sexual reproduction. These are things and we've heard of people being cloned. We've heard of that, right? This isn't conspiracy theory. Something that is grown in a lab, in a laboratory. The process involves taking one or more cuttings from the parent plant and then replanting them in the soil where they will grow into new plants with similar characteristics to their parents. Thus, they are nothing more than clones. So that's how this is done as far as the fruits are concerned. The problem with this method is that it's costly compared to other methods for growing fruit trees. Not only does it take more time than planting seeds, but there are also risks involved when attempting to clone plants because clones need access to healthy specimens for them to thrive. Number three, they have fewer vitamins and minerals. A downside of eating peeled or seedless fruit is that those elements contain many nutrients and fibers. I don't see how that's a downside. A downside of eating peeled or seedless fruit is that those elements contain many nutrients and fibers. Okay. Seedless fruits are not as healthy. They have fewer vitamins and minerals. They also contain less fiber, which means they're digested more quickly by your body. Moreover, the lack of seeds mean that these fruits have fewer antioxidants, phytonutrients, which are plant-based nutrients, and anti-inflammatory properties. Number four, They reduce the biodiversity of fruits. It's not just the fact that there are no seeds, though. Even if a seedless fruit were to be planted, it would not reproduce naturally because all of its offspring are clones of their parent plants. This means that the fruit is genetically identical, making them vulnerable to diseases and pests due to their lack of genetic diversity. Isn't that something? On top of this, when you buy bananas or any other seedless fruit from the supermarket or grocery store, they're often shipped from other countries, often halfway across the world, since they cannot be grown locally in some places where they're favored. Shipping these fruits over vast distances puts an enormous strain on our planet's resources and the environment by using more fossil fuel than necessary. This further contributes to global warming, it says here, because the production of such products requires so much energy per kilogram compared to traditional varieties such as pears or apples, which have seeds and therefore need less fuel-intensive production methods because of the natural diversity within the population of each species. So look at this. Look at this picture. So it says here it's a seedless avocado. Imagine a seedless avocado. Oh my gosh. A seedless avocado. I take it this is the seedless avocado over here in comparison to the regular avocados. So look at that. What is that? So here are the concluding remarks. Fruit is a healthy and nutritious food we should include in our diet, but some types of fruits are healthier than others. You might think that seedless fruits would be the perfect source of nutrients in the future. However, without seeds, seedless fruits can't regenerate themselves. To have fruits that can only be propagated by cloning, thus sterile and impotent to germinate a new crop of their own, means the plants are always on the verge of extinction. So while it might seem like a good idea at first glance, you're missing out by going seedless. Hope this article has shed some light on the pros and cons of seedless fruits. It's an interesting topic that many people don't think about, but it's important to know what you're eating. The sustainability of our food sources is a critical issue. This is a topic we cannot afford to ignore. If we fail to take action now, future generations will have to pay for it later. So it says here, if you enjoyed this piece and would like to continue exploring new ideas together, consider subscribing. I'd love to share more stories and thoughts with you. Thank you for the gift of your precious time. I tell you. So, what did you all think about that? He brought us some really good points there. You know, the cost has gone up. You're getting less nutrients, but you're paying more. You're paying more for food that's less nutrient dense just because of the convenience of not having to spit out some seeds. Sister Adonai said, you let me find an avocado without a seed. I may forget I'm a child of the Most High. I'm just saying. Oh my goodness. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, very, very, lots of information there. So, wow. Whoever thought about, who would think about that? Who would think that that was a good idea to have fruits and vegetables without seeds? So here's another article These are 7 fruits and veggies that used to look a lot different. So we're going to see some pictures of some fruits and vegetables that years ago we completely forgot that this is what they used to look like, or we didn't even know that this was what they looked like because this was so many years ago. And now seeing what is actually on our tables, seeing what is in the groceries, totally different from what they looked like years ago. So what does this tell us? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this video, this article, 7 fruits and veggies that used to look a lot different. And this is by Tree Hugger. Seven fruits and veggies that used to look a whole lot different. What did original bananas, apples, and tomatoes look like? Let's find out. So it says you walk through the produce section of your, and let's see, let's look at these and then move on. You walk through the produce section of your supermarket and everything looks so familiar, but the fruits and veggies you see bear no resemblance to their ancestors from thousands of years ago. Many of them don't taste the same either. Credit our forefathers who wanted bigger, tastier, and more attractive food. We talk a lot about GMOs these days, but selective breeding has been around for a while, thousands of years even. Isn't that interesting? I wonder when that happened. Remember, we learned about back then with the cloning and of animals and foods and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is nothing new. Like I said earlier, nothing new under the sun. Here are 7 fruits and vegetables as they look today and a peek at what they looked like many years ago. Well, I don't think that we have pictures of them from thousands of years ago. I don't think we do, but let's see what corn, okay? So corn is everywhere, especially in the summertime. That doesn't mean we know exactly where it came from. Its biological beginnings have long been considered a mystery. Nevertheless, some scientists eventually linked maize to a Mexican grass called tisonite that has skinny ears with just a few dozen kernels inside a hard casing. I'm going to pull this up on my laptop here because I'm straining to see on that other computer. So it says tisonite corn has skinny ears and very few kernels, but the kernels pop. But the kernels pop. It says George W. Beadle, a graduate student of Cornell University, ultimately found that maize and tisonite had similar chromosomes, and he also was able to get tisonite syntae kernels to pop. Beadle concluded the two plants were closely related and later went on to win the Nobel Prize for his work in genetics. Then there's the watermelon. Okay, so this is what the watermelon looks like now. It says another summer favorite, watermelon. Look at that. This is moving way too fast. Here we go. So this is what the watermelon used to look like. Another summer favorite, watermelon, has been around for millennia. Archaeologists found watermelon seeds at a 5,000-year-old settlement in Libya. Paintings of watermelons, as well as actual watermelon seeds, have been discovered in Egyptian tombs built more than 4,000 years ago, including the tomb of King Tut. So this is what a watermelon looked like years ago. Isn't that interesting? It says here, the details of Giovanni Stanci's watermelon, peaches, pears, and other fruits in a landscape. This was from 1845 to, was that 18 or 16? 1643 to 1672. Shows a paler melon with more seeds. So it says early watermelons likely didn't have the popular red flesh we know today. They were paler with less flesh and more seeds. So that's what a watermelon used to look like. So everything has changed. Bananas. These are today's bananas. Let's see what a banana looked like previously. It says a 2011 study looked at the evolution of the popular familiar yellow banana. It analyzed multidisciplinary findings from archaeology, genetics, and linguistics to figure out when and where bananas came from. Look at that. The findings: modern bananas evolved from two wild varieties, Musa acuminata, which is a tall plant with small pods bred to produce seedless fruit, and native to southern Asia, and the hardier Musa balbisania, which had hard, large seeds that wouldn't make it so easy to slice over your breakfast cereal. So this is what carrots look like now. And I'm not going to read all of everything. This is what early carrots were, often off-white or purple, like these, that still grow today. So we're still able to get these carrots, actually. The purple and white ones, I really like those. And then the apples. This is what apples look like today. Oh my goodness. This thing is getting away from me. And let's see what it says here about the apple. Wow. Just slow it down here. Okay. What does it say here about the apple? Melas severesi is a wild apple native to the mountains of Kazakhstan and these other places in China. I'm not going to go into all of that. Research has shown that this fruit, also called Asian wild apple, is one of the main forefathers of our domesticated apple. It's small and sour, unlike the sweet apples we eat today. So that's what the apples used to look like. And then the tomatoes. This is an interesting picture. Let's see what it says here about the tomato. It says early incarnations of the plant. Is that what a tomato used to look like? Early incarnations of the plant had tiny green or yellow fruit. It was used in cooking by the Aztecs, and later explorers brought the tomato back to Spain and Italy. Although now a staple in those countries, the tomato in the 1700s was feared and nicknamed poison apple because people thought aristocrats died after eating them. But it turned out it was the acidity in tomatoes that leached lead from fancier pewter plates and thereby caused lead poisoning. And then there's the eggplant. That's the eggplant today. I don't know why this thing moves so fast. And this looks more like a tomato. The eggplants back in the day looked more like a tomato than a tomato looked like a tomato today. So Sanskrit documents from as early as 300 BCE suggest the eggplant was cultivated in antiquity and revered through various names such as shakareshta, meaning excellent vegetable. So that looks more like a tomato than an eggplant. So that's what these fruits and vegetables used to look like once upon a time and what they look like now. Isn't that interesting? Sister Adana said they've been messing with our food for quite some time now. Spinach causes so much pain in my body. I went into depression really a little when I found out it was the spinach that was causing me to ache. That's so interesting, sis. But yes, so I think we get the gist of it, right? We we realize that a lot of the foods that and we're now seeing the process where the food is changing. And it's by design that these things are happening. This isn't by happenstance, right? So what can we do? What can we do as conscious, wise women walking in wisdom? Because we have to be wise. We have to walk in wisdom. So here are a few steps. What do we do now that we know what is going on with our food? Number one, we need to seek the seeded fruits and vegetables. Whenever I go to the grocery store, I would always ask, when are you going to get the seeded grapes? When are you going to get the seeded watermelons? To let them know that everyone does not want seedless fruits and vegetables. Right? Make it be known that we're not, and don't buy it just because it's there. Please don't buy it just because it's there. Otherwise, they really believe that these things are in demand and that we really want them. If we leave those things on the shelves, if we just leave them right there and don't buy them and just keep asking for what we really want, maybe that will make a difference. I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm not eating that Franken food. So seek the seeded fruits and vegetables, especially watermelons, grapes, and our citrus fruits, our oranges, our lemons, our limes. Number two, we can grow our own food, even if it's just herbs or tomatoes on a balcony, and just start reconnecting with the earth. And then shop local. Farmers market and small organic growers are more likely to offer seeded produce. So if at all possible, seek out farmers markets and educate yourself and your family. Teach our daughters, our granddaughters, the power of seeds. Start collecting these seeds now. Start collecting them, because the way things are going, 4 or 5 years from now, I think everything on the shelf is going to be seedless. It's ridiculous. So teach your daughters the power of seed, not just in food, but in life. In life. So at this point, what we have to do is just return to wholeness, honoring the natural foods that the Most High has given us. He's given us these herbs, he said, for our healing. So imagine if they're manipulating all these things, the herbs, they're manipulating the fruits and vegetables. Why? Because these are what we really need for the healing of our bodies. That's the whole purpose behind it. It's not that it's really for our convenience, because it becomes very inconvenient when we're sick all the time. So what kind of convenience is that? So let us start really honoring our bodies and put in nutritious, healthy things in our body. And if it means cutting back on certain things and eating more of the good stuff, you may not be able to get grapes, but you may be able to get more seeded oranges, and just eat plenty of the good stuff, and just choose not to eat the bad stuff. The Most High created us to be fruitful, to multiply, and to live in abundance. So we shouldn't be compromising. Don't compromise by choosing foods that are barren. How can you be fruitful and multiply? It really starts now, especially with our daughters, our granddaughters, by teaching them these things, right? And what they're putting in their bodies. Because if you're putting barren food into your body, eventually you're going to be barren, because you're not getting the proper nutrients. All right, so that's my show for tonight. There's one more article that I didn't go over, but I am going to drop it in the link for it in the comment box for you all. Here's one more resource to share with family and friends. Just one more resource right there. So next week's show, sisters, is yet to be determined. I know I got some suggestions last week. I'm going to go over those. I just really wanted to bring out this whole seedless thing, because, like I said, the watermelons, this summer I really wanted the seeded watermelons, and I was so glad that I was able to find them. But it's problematic. It's problematic when we're going to the grocery stores and the choices do not reflect anything that, or I must say, many things that are nutrient dense. So that's what we need to look for. Okay. So if this episode inspired you, be sure to share it with a sister, and don't forget to check out our herbal teas, our tonics, our temple treasures, all crafted with life-giving ingredients, organic ingredients, right? Life-giving, because your wellness should always come from sources that are alive. We want live products. I don't want any artificial stuff. You know, a lot of these products that we're buying in the stores have all these chemicals and artificial ingredients. And so that's why I just decided, you know what, there's certain things I have control over. And one of the things I have control over is to learn how to make good, excellent products that are organic to put on my skin. And I choose to do the same for what I consume, put in my body. Althea says, great topic, sis. It was very informative. Thanks for sharing. Of course, you're welcome. Love you so much. Sis, do you think seedless fruits can be linked to autism? Why not? I haven't done or seen any studies on it, of course, but seedless fruits and vegetables became very, very popular because, once again, of the convenience. And if you're not getting as much nutrients, and pregnant women are consuming these frankenfoods, then I wouldn't discount it. But that's something to look into. That is definitely something to look into and see if there have been any studies that have been done on that. That's actually a great idea, sis, is for us to look into that. So, and don't forget to check out our weekly wellness blog on ShebrewRoyalty.com. Tuesday, I should have the new blog up, which is Seeded for Life, a Shebrew guide to conscious produce shopping. So there's going to be a new blog up on Tuesday, Seeded for Life, and it's pertaining to a lot of the things that we talked about tonight, with tips from tonight's broadcast on how to shop for good produce. So check it out this Tuesday. So let us continue to grow this channel, sisters, so this information can reach Shebrews throughout the four corners of the earth, and even those that are not Shebrews that are willing to be a part of our community. We are to let our light shine so that others can be led to the source of the light. So let's have these conversations, and don't let the conversation end here. Take these conversations into your homes, and as you're sitting and having dinner, these are some of the things that you may want to talk to your family about being more conscious in when you go to the grocery store, mindful shopping. And there's a video that I did, a show that I did, what was it, last year, the beginning of last year, I think, on mindful shopping. So it's not just about mindful eating, because our eating actually begins when we go to the grocery store, because whatever we buy is what's going to end up on our plates. So it starts with mindful shopping. When you go to the grocery store, being mindful of what you are purchasing and how this food, whatever it is that you're buying, how it's going to impact your health. The water, Sister Ada, the water. Yes, always start there in the grocery store. And even before you go to the grocery store, make your mind up before going into the grocery store. This is not what I'm not going to get this. I'm not going to get this. Make a list so that you know exactly what you're going to get. And like I said, anything that says seedless on it does not deserve a place at your table. So, that being said, I love you all so much and always appreciate you spending your Sundays with me, taking time out of your busy schedule and having tea and conversation with me. I'm going to finish my arnica tea And I'm telling you, I'm feeling so much better. I'm feeling so much better. Oh my goodness. And it's not just the tea, it's spending time with you all, really. This is one of my favorite times of the week. I really enjoy spending this time with you all. And just love you all so much. And just thank you, Thawada, for your support, Thawada, for your love. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. So know that I am praying for you. I am praying for us. So until the Most High brings us back together, may you prosper and be in excellent health. And remember, true healing begins inwardly before it is expressed outwardly. Sister Adana said, Thawada says this was very informative and helpful. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Yes. Thawada. So I am your hostess, Kuala Yakaka, a voice of reason and justice. So until next time, stay royal, stay radiant, stay seated in truth. And as always, this is Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty. Have a blessed night and a blessed week. Love you all so much. Shalom. Shalom, Sister Adina. You be blessed as well. Shalom. Peace and blessings, sisters.